Hey, what's up, guys? Another episode, Swtor versus WoW. Gonna be looking at Swtor BGs, WoW BGs, Arena Talk. Um, I have this clip here that I played a few days ago. I've been kind of taking a break from Star Wars: The Old Republic, just overplayed it. It's not that it's a bad game, I've just played it way too much, burnout. Um, Talk about BGs. The faction imbalance is definitely a huge factor. They need more maps like Hutball, which they're planning on adding. So I'm just kind of taking a break until they can kind of fix this because, let's face it, all we play is Hutball as Imperials. So I can't really rate their PvP on a fair scale because I'm so sick of playing the exact same map over and over and over. I can't even I play Alderaan and Voidstar a little bit, but I couldn't tell you about balancing and abilities and just the overall balance of the game towards those maps. But I do know Hutball range has a huge advantage. Um, with my new Pyro spec, I can just kite, and pretty much no one can touch me. Uh, Melee is really not going to stand a chance. Um, it's going to either take another bounty hunter or a sorcerer to really kill me, or operative. That's my three weaknesses. But it's not really a huge concern. You just got to look out for those 2v1s. But yeah, so melee are pretty much just screwed when they're going up facing like a pyrotech dot spec or something along those matters, because they can just knock you back, stun you on the ground once they knock you back, load you up on dots. It's just not fair. I really don't like it. The other thing that I really dislike about Swtor BGs is, or war zones, you guys know what I'm talking about, is the fact that the stuns and CCs are just out of control. You can just get knocked everywhere, and then the environment. Whoever thought up of adding an environment to kill, like you can actually get kills off by knocking people back into the environment. First off, you give everybody a blowback basically, and a stun. And then you add environment where you can blow these people back and then stun them in fires. I've had matches where 4 or 5 pyrotechs just sit and wait for people to come along to fires to pull them in and stun them. That's not really PvP. That's, yeah, I don't know what you call that. The other thing is it just seems like tanks dominate this. They get the ball, they just mosey on across. Doesn't matter if they get knocked back, they have a healer pull them back up. You got to do something different. If it's giving the team that is down a touchdown, open up those gates on the end with maybe one fire trap or something to let them have an opportunity to score easier than doing the platforms, because sometimes you just get screwed. You don't get a tank, you don't get any heals, especially if you're running by yourself, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. As you see in this map, we are just getting blown up. Just destroyed. And there's nothing we can do. It's not that any players are bad on our team. We just don't have the right setup, the right comp. And this happens in WoW with, their BGs and stuff like that. But I don't notice it as much. I don't know if it's because the fire and the different things on this just make this more aggravating. I know it happens in WoW where like you'll get 4 healers and a tank on the other team on a capture the flag map. But the other thing is, you don't play that Warsun Gulch with 4 healers and a tank 99% of the time. If you probably played that 99% of the time, you would probably really hate the PvP in that game. So, hey, this is really frustrating because this is all you play. So this is the only thing you have to compare the game off on. And I really love the PvE and their ops and the other stuff like that, but so I'm just disappointed with the PvP because of the circumstances. It doesn't mean it's bad, but just how the CCs work and how we're only playing Hutball as Imperial, and most of that's mostly the Imperial's fault. You can re-roll and fix this problem, but it's kind of like, for me, I'm just gonna kind of wait around and see what happens. Yeah, this game right here, we just get completely getting dominated here at the start. I'm just getting destroyed. This is one of my not so good games, but I just wanted to show what happens in these type of situations when the one team has a really good tank and as a healer. It just, there's nothing you can do. You just get rolled. It doesn't matter how you DPS him to see he just walks along like he's not taking any damage, and the healer just stays with him. He gets knocked off, pulled back up. Um, but yeah, like I said, you would probably notice this. Um, you'd notice this in WoW too with Warsong Gulch and stuff. If you know, if you played it 99% of the time. So it's not that Hutball is bad or they need to change some stuff. They do need to adjust the resolve so it picks up more snares and more CCs, and maybe make it longer lasting, like when you actually get the buff. But overall, I think it's pretty good. This is a very good start. I mean, WoW didn't even have PvP when Battlegrounds or anything when it started out. So this is a good start, but the problem is you have that giant of as of World of Warcraft, sitting looking over your shoulder. You have to come out with a patch fast. People are going to get impatient. We're not talking about at least I would say half the population of this game will go somewhere else if a new game comes out that is better. The other half are diehard Star Wars fans. I'll always like the game. I'll probably always have a subscription. I just like Star Wars too much. Even though I may not agree with how they're doing it or handling it, I'll probably still have fun. But yeah, they gotta work faster. They gotta fix these problems. They got to get the rated PvP. Something I don't like to hear is they kind of delayed the rated PvP, and they're just kind of doing a pre-season rated system. So I have no idea what that means, but they're not starting the season right away when they install this new map that is multi-faction, which I'm really hoping this patch will fix some of these problems. And man, this was a horrible game. I couldn't have picked a better example of how the lopsidedness just works out sometimes, just how there's nothing you can do. And about halfway through this game, it's just like, what's the point of even trying, when it's like this? There's nothing you can do. I mean, it doesn't mean anybody on your team is horrible or anything. It just means you don't have the right comp. And this is going to happen. Everybody gets these blowout games. But it's disappointing because you receive a lot of them just because you don't have a friend that is a tank, or you don't have a friend that is a healer. That's a problem I run into a lot when I'm trying to get footage and stuff in the mornings. Just not a lot of people on, and it's about 50-50 win-loss, which is what it should be with just randoms. But yeah, so I'm not going to really judge this game too hard. I know I just stated all the problems with these BGs, but you got to remember it's a new game, and you have these circumstances of the faction imbalance. Does this mean that they can't fix it? I think they can. I believe they can fix this, but they need to get on it ASAP, or the real PvPers are not going to play this game. They're going to lose interest very fast, which I've talked to a lot of people, and they already are losing interest. And me personally, I've been, just messing around with WoW arenas a little bit for any kind of death match, and then I've been playing this also. So I'm trying to mix it up so I don't continue getting burnt out on this playing Hutball over and over. And a lot of you guys, if you're feeling the same thing, I definitely recommend picking up a first-person shooter, something else, so you just don't beat your head on Hutball over and over. Don't judge the system before they've fixed it. And I'm gonna give it to summer, and then if not, I'm gonna really look for a different game to play for PvP. I mean, I'm all about the PvP. I like the PvE. It's a good supplement to the game. I think theirs is great, but is it worth staying at the game for just great PvE content? No. Now, if you add arenas, on the other hand, something other than just regular BGs and PvE content, I mean, it's definitely not worth staying for that PvE content. But if you would add in arenas, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think the game would turn around like if they had Swtor arenas? It'd probably be really fun, but they have a lot of imbalancing issues with the blowbacks and stuff what they would have to fix. But I think some kind of 3v3, 4v4 would probably be their choice, so they wouldn't copy WoW's system. But I think that'd be cool if they would do some kind of rated, smaller scale PvP. But for now, I'm still messing around on WoW, doing a little bit of arenas. Um, I'm still playing my DK that I leveled, moved him from Argent Dawn to Darkspear a while back. I still have my main DK on Kel'Thuzad, which a lot of people don't even know I play, and I kind of hide. He's kind of still sitting on his team rating, right at, I think he's the season's reset, so he wouldn't be 2200. But yeah, he was, I don't know, 2350. He was over 2200 last season. But yeah, I really don't play that one at all, and that's really my competitive DK. I'm not even messing with him. Now, this guy on Darkspear is really just my fun factor DK, and arenas are still have that fun factor just to log in. Even if you don't have gear like this guy, I just recently started picking him back up and playing him, and it's still a lot of fun even though you don't have gear. You can still enjoy the arenas. They have a lot of imbalancing problems and issues, but if you can't look at these games like that. You have to look at it, how much fun am I having playing these arenas or these hut ball or anything like that. And if you're pure in for it for the rating, that's probably the wrong attitude going into it, and you're probably going to make yourself miserable trying to play these games. And that's kind of what happened to me last time with WoW, just burnout pushing rating. And so, I mean, I think Star Wars would be good with arenas, but you would probably have the same problems in the long run that WoW arenas have. Um, you know, you just get wrapped up in it and you lose the fun factor. So the biggest thing with these games I look for now is fun factor. If I can log on, play these BGs and have a good time, that comes first and foremost, then rating. And I've found that the rating comes easier that way. Um, so yeah, for the time being, uh, we're just kind of you just kind of gotta wait for the new patch. So I hate to say it again, but WoW is the finished product. It's set the benchmark. It's done. Swtor, we're waiting on patches, basically balancing, new levels, faction imbalance. It doesn't have the fun factor with the BGs or the arenas, and you can't compare the two. So basically, I said the same thing in the World PvP. Time will tell how this turns out and how these two compare better, but for now, there's really no competition there.